I got monetized last year December, and it was pretty not so difficult process for me, to be honest. But I got a lot of questions around people struggling to like get their Google AdSense PIN. So this process is really just to this video is really just to walk you through this process, and hopefully it will help you to like gain clarity on how to move forward. Welcome if you're new here, or welcome back if you're a returning subscriber. My name is Adebola. I'm a 95 babe, and I also create YouTube content on the side. In today's video, I really just want to share some tips that can help you to get your Google AdSense PIN, pretty much faster, and also walk you through some of the process of like, submitting your tax details, setting up your payment details on the platform. And I decided to make this video because I got monetized last year December, and it was pretty not so difficult process for me, to be honest. But I got a lot of questions around people struggling to like get their Google AdSense PIN. So this process is really just to this video is really just to walk you through this process, and hopefully it will help you to like gain clarity on how to move forward. Right. Just to also give some context that for people that might not know. On YouTube, if you're a content creator and you have 4,000 watch hours and you also have 1,000 subscribers, when you reach that milestones, YouTube would, they would start paying you. But before they start paying you, there's some requirements you also need to like fill, and one of them is like verifying your address. And when you're doing this, it's very important that you put in the correct exact address, like address people can find on the map, like, right? Because if you don't, you'll probably have issues with receiving your Google AdSense PIN, right? So when you're done with like verifying your address by putting in your address details, the next step is now for Google to send the PIN to you, and they're sending the PIN to you, not to your email, right? So they're sending the PIN to a postal office very close to the address that you've indicated, and that's why you need to give an address that is accurate, and an address that is also very, how will I put it, it's also somewhere you can go to, because by the time they send your PIN, you have to go to a postal office that is pretty close to that address, right? And that's essentially what I did in my own case. Although when I went to like the postal office that was close to my address in December, they were not around because everybody is in like holiday period. But luckily for me, one of them actually came to my house to deliver the PIN. So the PIN will be in like an envelope form, and the PIN will be inserted inside the envelope, right? And this process is very important because if you don't, like if YouTube sends this PIN to you and you don't use it, after I think 3 months, they will most likely revoke your monetization power. Like you won't be able to like earn on YouTube. And that's why it's important for you to like, when you're inputting your address, you put in the correct details, and also just keep it at the back of your mind that they're going to send this PIN to a postal address that is close to this. Sorry, they will send this PIN to the postal office that is close to this address. And I hope that makes sense. The other thing that I know gave people a lot of issues is around the payment details, and I will just share my screen, so the payments and also the tax details. I know this, like what I will be sharing might be different from what you might be showing, because I already have all these things set up, but my goal is still to walk you through some of them, and hopefully even set up like a Google document, so that by the time you're setting yours up, you can always compare with what I have in the documents, and you can just compare and just do exactly what I did to be able to like set up my payment details and also my tax details. That usually gives people issues, especially because we're not based in the US. So there's also like an approach to like filling this information. Okay, so I will just walk you through my screen now on some of the things you need to like get cleared. Okay, so I'm on my YouTube studio. Like I said, the settings might be different because I already have all this set up, but usually when you come to your YouTube studio and you come to like the end section of the page itself, this thing would show, right? And on the right side here, this is where you would click on what you like need to like fill. by filling, I mean like setting up your payment details and also your tax details. And I hope the part of the verification makes sense. Like I said, I have this option here because I already, have those things set up, right? So when you go to, so I'll just click on this AdSense for YouTube, right? And this will be what you would also see. Then the next thing for you is to go to this payment option, right? When you go and then you come to this verification check, like I said, I already completed this. And for the verification check, you're doing two things. So you're doing this identity verification and the address verification, which is one of the things I mentioned earlier around. You need to put an accurate address, right? And an address where when YouTube sends you like your PIN, is something you can easily go to the postal office close to that place and you get your PIN. And I also know that sometimes some people don't get their PIN. I mean, YouTube will say they've sent it to the postal address, then they go to the postal address, then there is nothing. What I usually recommend, or what I recommended for some of the people that reached out to me, is really just going back to YouTube Studio and requesting for another PIN, and that might be something you can also check out. But like I said, it's very easy. Just ensure that you put the correct address here, right? And you should be pretty good to go. Then the second thing is around the tax and the payment option, which is like another layer of things you need to do before YouTube actually start paying you, right? So when I come to this manage settings here, I'm sure this is what you would also be seeing as a first time, because you've not received any payments from YouTube. This account ID is something that is automatically generated for you. This one is something you can change, but honestly, I do not care. This payment threshold. So payment threshold is how much, like the minimum amount of money you want to have before you instruct YouTube to actually pay into your account. Then there is this payment profile. So this payment profile is where I actually set up my payment details. There's usually two different types of accounts. There's the individual, there's business. I mean, I'm an individual, so that's exactly what I selected. Here you also need to put in your name, and this has already been verified with some of the documents that I shared. This is the address that I have, which I will also probably blur. There's also my phone number, right? And for the payment details, there's usually two options. So there is the wire details. I can't remember the second option, but I picked the wire details where what I did was just to impute my GTDOM account. So that's where YouTube actually sends me the money, and that's what I do. So if you don't have a DOM account, you can always do GT, do Providence, anyone works, and you just need to put in your details. Like I said, the document that I've created, which I also link in the video description, it will help you to follow this step by step, because I actually highlighted it. Because when you're also putting details of your payments, there's also there's a code they will ask you for, which is very easy for you to also get online. You just need to do a Google search, which I also highlighted in this document that I will share, because honestly I can't remember on top of my head. Then for the tax details, because you're not a US citizen, there's also different things you need to tick so that you're not paying these taxes. And like I said, I don't want this video to be long, so I'll just put in a document. And also because I really can't show you much of this, because I already have this form filled out. But yeah, I just really want to do this video. Let me know if this makes sense to you, if the document has helped you to set up your own payment and tax details on your Google AdSense. So yeah, I think that will be all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Share with your friends, with your exes, and see you in my next video. Bye.